I know it's been quite some time since my last video. I apologize for that, but things happen, and next thing you know, a year passes, and here we are. At any rate, recently, with MoonRollers, largely being delivered and made available for purchase on Ivy Studios' website, a lot of people are now starting to get it. Reviewers are starting to come out with content, and I noticed on the Dice Towers review of MoonRollers, someone graciously gave a shout out to this project here, and that kind of you know lit a fire under me to go ahead and move forward with it so that I can at least have something playable for you guys. So just in case it's your first time here, I am developing a fan solo mode for MoonRollers, and the solo mode involves certain number of bot players that will replace actual players. I know someone mentioned it as might have called it an automa. I guess technically you can call that, but usually automas, you're flipping a lot of cards to determine turn by turn or round by round actions. The design of these bots isn't like that at all. It's a very simple set of rules or priorities that each bot will play, and hopefully to give a feel that you're actually playing against real players. These bots aren't designed to be just kind of scoring generators that you're trying to beat. I mean, you're literally playing as though you would be playing against others, at the table. Also, to just kind of remind you, I previously had two different bots that I've demonstrated. At the time, they were called Thief Bot and Haste Bot. One small change I made is just the naming convention, just to kind of give it a little more flavor. So all the bots are now Janus bots, and that really, I guess, highlights the fact that I realized that pairs of bots are somewhat similar, but ideally, and this is kind of my design goal, is even though bots might seem to play similarly, that there are subtle differences that even if you play them against each other, or certainly if you're playing against two similar Janus bots, then you would actually feel a difference. So that's kind of my design goal. So in the previous video, I would have called this Thief Bot and this Haste Bot. I might still default to that in this video and videos going forward, just because it's simple, rather than Janus Bot Rev 1A, just to call it Thief Bot, just as a simple way to keep track of things. So I've already shown these two off, so I'm gonna hold them to the side, and if you want to see how they play, those videos are online. What I'm wanting to show today are the two newer bots, or newest bots. And first thing you'll see is I do not have images for them, so I apologize for that. But they'll come later. Basically, this is Rev 2A 2B, which I will give a shorthand of calling Support Bot and Prosper Bot. Now, these two, the way they're playing, just to give an idea of how the cards work, you see that there is a default and fallback directives. Now, the default directive is the primary action is always going to try to take each turn. So in the case of support bot, it's going to target the contract with the fewest completed tasks. So that's where it's going to look and attempt to attempt or complete the requirements. Its fallback, if it is unable to do its default task, it'll fall back to targeting the contract with the fewest of its own locked tasks. So basically, the way I see support bot working in the lore, this is an AI that was created to provide assistance to ships that are within its vicinity. A medic bot, a repair bot, kind of anything you need, this bot would provide. So the way the support bot should play is it will attempt to help out the other players by completing tasks. But as you see in the second row, a second way it's going to always help out players is it will always claim bonuses with the most hazard. So if it takes on hazard when you flip the 2 tokens for it, this bot will always choose the one with the most hazard symbols on it as a way of taking on the hazard itself, hopefully minimizing for the other players. And then finally, it will continue rolling and risk busting if it has enough dice left to fulfill a task on the card. But if possible, it will not attempt a final task. So if it completes the second to last task, even if there are still dice, it will actually stop. Or when choosing, if let's say all tasks are on the final or contracts are on the final task requirement, it will only then complete a requirement. So its whole thing is to try to help complete these requirements without taking the contract itself. That's how it's going to play. All bots have a final override. Now this is in addition or in lieu of your crewmate's ability. So the bots will never play a crewmate's ability. Instead, it will play its own override ability. So with the support bot, when you roll, if there are 3 different symbols on dice, you can lock that and basically convert it into a wild that has to be immediately used that turn. Now, even though you're only using 1 wild, those 3 dice have been locked and wouldn't be available for a subsequent roll. And finally, at the bottom, just to remind you, those 3 colors represents its contract preference. So when doing its initial targeting, all else being equal, if there's a purple potential crew member out there, it will go for that first. Failing any purples, it will go for a green, and then finally an orange, and then at the end, I'll have a final resolution for if nothing matches. But right now, I haven't really found that to be a problem. Now, the second, and what makes this the Janus bot, is Prosper bot. And as you see, its default protocol is to always evenly play tasks across all contracts. So basically, I see this as the bot that would have been, say, in charge of terraforming. So it would go out and begin terraforming. So it's all about spreading resources, creating prosperity. So similarly to support bot, it's going to play across all the cards. Except its fallback is it will target the contract with the most of its own locked tasks, whereas the Prosper bot shies away from completing tasks. Prosper bot doesn't. In that second row, you see instead of dealing with hazard tokens, its secondary focus is on the amount of prestige a task can create. So it will commit to the highest prestige task on the card when you're selecting what task you're going to go for, or requirement. And then, as you see, in contrast to support bot, which is really trying to help out as much as it can, Prosper bot is really looking for effectiveness. So if it completes a task, if it locks a cube, it's going to stop. Now, the whole idea, again, with Prosper bot, it is a former terraforming bot, and right now, in terms of competition, this bot will focus on spreading itself, ideally in the highest prestige tasks on a card, so that you should see in scoring, even if it's not completing cards, its score marker should jump up rather nicely because it's always going for the highest prestige on the card. So that's kind of the hurdle that you have to overcome with Prosper is that it's just going to get in there, grab the juiciest things first, make sure it's going multiplying, prospering, and so even if you're completing the cards, it should still be competitive. Its override is a little different than the support bot, where it's going to convert three die faces that have the same symbol and will generate a wild to use immediately. Um, so a little different. We'll see how it feels. And then, of course, there's its card priority at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and place these out. I'll place support as blue. Prosper will be orange. I'll play green. And in the game, you as the player will always start. So afterwards, everything else is the same. Now I'm going to play, I'm not going to do a full game. So I might do something slightly differently. Let me put out 4 cards just to kind of, get us going here. So ideally with this playthrough, even though it's going to be shortened, I'll play a few rounds. You should hopefully get a sense of me playing against 2 distinct opponents, and also that those opponents are actually competitive when it comes to scoring. So we'll see how that plays out. So first off, let's see. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna roll. Oops. Okay, so we have 2 thrusters. First, okay, and a wild. Let's see. Let me see, who do I have here? May lock each. Extra dies 2 shields, so that doesn't apply right now. I'm green. Let's see if I can get one of the others. I'm not going to go for Vila, although I could go ahead and even just lock this in, but let's see what else I can do. Let's see what powers. Starts with 6 dice, so I like that. 1 to 3. Huh. Let's go for Al. Let's see. So I'm going to. You know what? I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to dedicate these 3. And I'm going to go ahead and just lock this. And I'm going to stop. Because really, you don't want to see me play. You want to see the bots play. So next we are going to take out to support bot. Now let's look at support bot again. It will target the contract with the fewest completed tasks. So that's pretty much all of them except for the one where I started. It will begin purple. I don't see any purple out there, so it will target green. So it's looking over here at redact. Okay. And we have a shield, an extra die, 2 energy, and a thruster. So let's see, what can we do? So it said any other thing always claims the bonus of the most hazards. Now there is a hazard here, so it could theoretically go and attempt the shield since there's a hazard there, and by taking that on, it can begin helping. Let's say that it does that. So we're going to go ahead and we're gonna do this. And I'm going to take one of its, and we're going to go here. Okay. And let's see, I'm going to get an extra die. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, well, it got a wild, so we're going to go ahead with 2, and it's going to continue on. Okay, let me get rid of, so I have 2 extra dice. Cool. That's kind of 2 faces, so I'm going to go ahead and re-roll that. So we're going to get 2 extra. Going to be 3. And then let's see what happens. Gonna go ahead and get an extra, and it will dedicate this to here. It's now gonna get this. Now I know I should just slide it straight down, but just so I don't get confused, if I do bust, I'm gonna put it below. That means I did complete this. So if it stops, then we'll just move them up. But because it got that, we're gonna see what the bonus. Okay, so in this case, just going back, it says always claims the bonus with the most hazard. It's being helpful. It's going to take on this danger itself. We'll put you back in. Okay, and now we will continue on this card. Since it has enough dice to continue rolling, it needs at least 3 right now. It has that, so it's going to keep going. And the next thing it can do is, well, you can go ahead and help out here. Very nice. And since it has 3, has enough. It can theoretically do a little bit more. It's going to keep going. And in this case, it will use the wild. Going to get an extra die, so it will keep going. And we'll just go with thrusters. Okay. Needs 1 more thruster. So let's see if it can get it. And no, so it busts. Okay, well, support, you really didn't help out. That's okay. Did a little good with those hazard dice, so we'll accept that. Okay, now let's see by contrast how Prosper plays. Okay, so it says evenly tasks across all contracts. So right now there's nothing on here, so it is fairly open. It will go orange first, no orange, then yellow. So we will go commits to the highest prestige task. So these both have a 4 as the height. Let's see. We'll go ahead and let's try for Cal 2. Let's just make it competitive. So it wants to, yeah. So it, in theory, can do that. So it's going to take this. We're going to go ahead and put 1 here. Okay. So it has 2 more wilds. And let's see if it can succeed. It does not. It busts also. Okay. Let's bring it back. Not too interested, not too exciting anyway. Let me continue on, because I want to go ahead and get Cal if I can. Let's see, what do I have? 2 thrusters, a burst, extra die, and a shield. I mean, I guess let's go with this. Going here, we're going to get an extra die to roll, so hopefully I can get a couple more. Actually, hold on. me see, what's my ability again? As shields. No, that won't help me right now anyway. Nope. Okay, support bot. Let's see what you got. So green. So you're going up here. So it would normally want the highest, but it can't. So what can it do? Any other? Well, let's just see. We'll go for this. Get 2 extra dice. Or ooh. So it has the 3, and we'll get 3 more to roll. So it's gonna definitely keep going. It's got this. Now let's see if it's gonna go back and try to help with those shields again. Prevent someone else from getting yeah, any hazards. So it's definitely gonna do that. It's gonna do 3. Okay, it's gonna roll all of them, so it should ideally be able to get this. Okay, cool. So it went 4, so it's gonna grab this. And it's gonna go ahead and get some more. Let's see what it can help with. Nope, it's gonna take that. You back. And it has 5 again, so it can continue. So let's see what it does. If anything. It's gonna use this. Begin here. And then it's going to go here. Gonna get that. Now, even though it has enough dice to continue, it has 3 dice. This only needs 3 symbols. It will stop because it does not want to actually take this. It just wanted to be helpful. And in this case, it might have been quite helpful. So we shall see what happens when Prosper follows behind. And of course, it will target yellow first, so it's not gonna go there quite yet. It will come over here. Now, Thiefbot, if we were playing with it, would immediately just jump here because there's only one thing left to one requirement for this contract, and Thiefbot would have said, well, I'm going to swoop in and take it. But Prosper is not concerned about that. It again wants the highest prestige task, which over here are thrusters, so it's going to attempt that. So we're going to go here. gonna go 2 more. And this is where it gets risky. And of course it doesn't quite make it. Now me, although I didn't want green. Oh, what am I saying? Well, I'll go ahead and try for that so that I can go and get, yeah, 3 of a kind. Let's just go make it a fast game. That gives me 2. So why not? And then nope. Okay, well, this is interesting because now support will not go for that. It will begin searching. So let's see what it can roll first. What it can do that will help us out. Oh, wild and a whole bunch of extras. Well, we're gonna have it start the blue. Rationale is with this 1, it can go ahead and lock in and take a little hazard for us. So it's saying we're gonna go ahead and do this. Grab our 2. Gonna flip. Okay. Thank you, support bot. You do get 4 extra. Which is pretty dangerous for this bot, but let's see what we can do. One, 2, 3, 4. Has 4 to go, so it's going to keep rolling. And of course, it will bust. Of course. Okay, so here. Now, Prosperbot's turn. It's been focusing on this card. Let's see if it can do anything on this card. Yeah. So here, let's go. It's going to go for this 4, kind of where it was. It has 2 towards that. Going to keep going. 3, 4. It's got it. Even though it gets an extra die and it could in theory get this, it will not. It's just going to go ahead and lock it in. And it will give it to me now. Let's see if I can get those thrusters over on redacted. Well, yeah, I could. I want to do that. Try for something else. No, support won't go for it. Prosper might though. Although that's a 3, so it probably won't. You know what? Let's go ahead. I'll try it. Let's just go get this. Roll up. I get an extra die. And oh, okay, I get a wild. Cool. And 2 extra die. Let's see. 1 thruster is all I need, and I got it. So I'm getting this. So here's the layout. So as we see, I am at 3. Support, not being quite so helpful, is at, so 4, 7, 11. Kind of in trouble in terms of points. So I might want to slow down. I don't want it to necessarily end it with a 3rd green and then find out that, support bot is so far ahead that, because I don't have any bonus tokens either. And technically it wouldn't get anything because it has the most hazard, but still. So let's see, what do we have? If you're rolling 1 of 3, each shield or wild. Okay, we're gonna go with we'll keep redacted on top. And let's see who we have here. We're gonna flip. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay, so let's see what support bot does. So again, it's going to preference. So none of its color preferences matters. Target the contract with the fewest completed tasks. So it's gonna ignore this. It's gonna go run right here. So let's see what it can be most helpful doing. We have 2 of these. We have 2 thrusters. So it might be interested, just being helpful and taking this hazard for us, to go over and get Mila. Gonna get an extra die. And we will... Yep. So you are good here. So it's gonna get this. Let's see what it takes. It's gonna take the 2 for us. And throw back the 1. So the other thing, I mean, support bot in its twisted logic says, hey, I'm helping you out by taking on all this hazard, but if it does it to no end, basically you're only going to be left with really a pool of just 1 point bonus tokens. So really it makes getting these not so enticing, simply because of how support bot plays. So that's kind of another way that its programming, as it were, is affecting my game state. Okay, so cool. So we need at least 3 to continue. It has it. It's gonna keep going. So it's gonna do this so that it can possibly continue to increase the chances that it can actually keep rolling. It needs just to get... It got a... Gonna get that. And technically it will try to go again since it can get that shield over there. And no, so it will stop. Okay, so let's see. Prosperbot, who isn't really prosperous right now. Let's see what it can do. So it wants to play to the highest it will want to go yellow first if it can. So if we start here, it can go for energy to at least get that 3. So it's going to do that. Got that. You know what? Let's go ahead and redact that. Let's go back. Because it had this as its remaining dice. And if we look at its ability, convert 3 with the same symbol to generate a wild. So it would have actually done this. You know, this is a solo game. We can do take backsies to make it a wild, sorry. So it will actually get on the board with that one and it will stop. So now it is my turn. I'm really bad. You'll even see with my own cards, I really don't pay too much attention to the abilities. Really because I'm, thinking like a designer, which means I'm gonna, miss a lot of things because I'm not thinking like how to play optimally. More so just making sure the game is working as it should. Okay, I have wild shields at 1 to 3, so that's not going to do anything. Energy. It is 2 shields, so it really doesn't. I don't want that. Okay, let's start working on. Well, hold on. You know what? We're gonna go here. I'm gonna take some hazard, and I'm gonna use this because I want to kind of diversify. And I'm just gonna lock in. I'm gonna stop. I'm not roll anymore. But I'm gonna take my 2. And let's see what we have. Well, with all that hazard over there, I should be able to safely take that. And we will continue on. Okay, so let's review with the fewest completed tasks. So it's going to ignore these 2. It's going to go one of these. It has no color preference, so let's see what it can actually do. Can technically work on this here, but it's also looking here, and it can go ahead and take on some hazard for us by doing this. Thank you, support bot. You are very helpful. 2 1s, so it's going to just grab that. It can continue, so it's going to try. And I mean, it can lock a die, but it's not going to matter. It's going to bust, so we're just not even going to play out anymore. Note that I didn't even put my cube here, but that's okay. Prosper. You want to spread out, so you will also, because you have 1 here, you have 1 here, so you're wanting one of these 2. Your colors, I see blue and I think yellow. So you're probably going to target this unless you can't place any dice. But let's see, we should be able to. And you can. And more so, you will go ahead So this is a bit about language. I'm just thinking here. Target contract. Oh no. Commits to the highest prestige task. So we can look at that two ways. With this wild, it technically can go here, or it can immediately complete this and continue and just end its turn. I'm gonna have it play like that. I'm just gonna be consistent that it's gonna the highest task that it can immediately complete. Now without the wild, it still would have gone here because it couldn't have gone and grabbed that one. Although, let's go back. Let's go back actually. Here's its preference when all else fails, but its second level or second order directive, highest prestige task, with this roll, it can actually get this 4. So that will actually be where it goes. It's going to say I locked in, I am done. Meaning since it has 1 on each of these, it's now going to go here automatically. No choice. And I think we'll play through the completing 1, maybe 2 more cards. See how it goes. Okay. Try to see if we can get Cal. Oh yeah, we can. Let's just go ahead and finish it out. So I will get this here. I'm done. We'll get some hazard or some bonus. Let's see. And I'm safe to go with this. And in this case, Prosper will jump to 4. I will go up 7, so I'm at 10. Okay, let's see what support bot does. It will definitely go for this purple first. Fewest completed tasks. So it would be between these two. So definitely again the purple since it's its color preference. And nothing else seems to be contradicting that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's see what it can do. Well, it can. Well, with these two being equal, it's just gonna go ahead and lock in here, get some hazard for us. Gonna take this. And since it can continue, it's gonna get an extra die. It will. Well, yeah, it hasn't done anything, so it would continue, obviously. Now let's look at what it says. Convert 3 die faces with different symbols to a wild to use immediately. Oh, well. Actually, excuse me. We're done with this, so we don't need to look at that. It's going to go with this because it is attracted to that hazard. And it busts. Okay. I think this will be my second to last round today. Again, I just want to kind of show off how they play. If so you can see that they hopefully, feel different. We are going to prosper now. It's going to ignore these two because it wants to distribute evenly, so it's going to focus on these two. Let's see if it has a color preference, yellow. So unless it can't place here, it will place there. Okay, that was awkward. So yes, it will again want to go for the highest priority that it can get, which in this case is right here. So it says, give me that, and it will roll these three and hope to get one more thruster or a wild, or three with the same face so it can then complete. It went ahead and got its wild. It's gonna lock it in because it will not continue rolling. And it's gonna take some hazard. In this case, I'm just gonna take one at random. I need to actually create a rule. Unlike support bot, there's nothing that designates how it will treat hazard here. So I think the simplest thing is it would just draw one and then just flip and keep it. Okay, and so now this will be our last round. Let's see what happens. Oops. Wait, it completed here. Oh no, sorry. I'm good. So 1, 2, 3. So we know Prosper is gonna play to purple next time, no matter what. Okay, so I have two. I have birth and an extra die. And let's see, what can I do with this? Go for here. Yeah, why not? What'd I go with? Oh wait, let's see. What are my abilities? Starts with 6. Okay, 2 extra. So okay, well let's go. Well, I'm looking here. He's gonna get more bonus points than me. We're safe, so I can go ahead and 1, 2, 3. Okay, sorry. Let me put this back. So I get 2 extra. I'm gonna go ahead and commit here. I'm just gonna go ahead and take some hazard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 2. Let's just do that. Okay. We're good, we're good. Give me an extra. I dig that. No worries, but that puts me over Prosperbot in terms of bonus points, so we are good there. Let's keep rolling. Nice. Hey. Hey-ho. So we're gonna use these shields. We're just gonna go ahead and that. It's a shame you can't commit to 2, because then technically I would already have that too, but oh well. You know what? We're just gonna go ahead, commit those 2. I'm not gonna roll anymore. And we're just gonna lock in all of this. Then go ahead and get 2 more of these. And let's see. I can go. So he has 2 5s. Yeah, just play it safe, because at this point, if we were to continue, I actually could catch up in terms of hazard with a support bot, but we're good. So let's see. We're gonna bring over 5 dice. Do here. So it wants to go with a place with the fewest completed tasks. So it's going to be these 3. And the fewest of its own doesn't have any, so that's cool. Blue, purple, green, orange, so that doesn't apply. So let's see what it can do and be helpful with. Right now, not looking at this. So in terms of being able to help with hazard, it can go ahead and just take that. Gonna get an extra die. And wow. Yeah, that's it. Okay, it busts. Kind of unfortunate. Oh well. We're gonna go with Prosper Bot. Now Prosper says again, evenly complete tasks across all contracts. So it's got 1 on each of these, so it is definitely going here. Is what it wants to do. Let's see if it's able to. It is more than able to. So it's going to go here. Ability, same symbol. Okay. It was 1 way from being able to use that, but that's okay. Let's go and see if it gets more than enough. It completes here. Now, let's see how we go. So it's going to go up 4, so it's at 8. And I will go up 8 to 18. And it actually gets this. Almost completed it. Almost won outright, but that's not what happened. Maybe next time. Okay. So now let's look. Let's say we were at end of game and we were looking at bonus. So clearly, support bot took on the most hazard, so it's not going to count its bonuses. Prosper is going to go up another 5, so it goes up to 13 to beat support bot. And then I, of course, I'm going to go up 6, 10 to 28. And that's the game. So hopefully you could see that even though I am playing with these two bot characters, they play differently. I mean, certainly Prosper Bot, the way I envisioned it is, even if it is not completing tasks, by grabbing these higher prestige requirements, that its score marker is going to just keep jumping up and keeping it in the game. And that's kind of what happened, even though I was able to so far win pretty handily. Prosper Bot did come from behind to beat Support Bot. Again, Support Bot's whole function is to make it useful for other people, or easier for other people to complete these contracts and recruit these crew members. And I feel it did, especially as we saw with taking on a lot of hazard itself to make the space safer for everyone else. And of course, I was just playing as a suboptimal human, which there's nothing I can do about that. I hope you enjoyed this. Well, I'm thinking for the next video, there can be two ways it can go. The first thing I might do is either I can showcase the next two bots that are to come out. Or interestingly, now that I have 4 bots, I can actually have an all bot game and have 4 bots play against each other to showcase the different types of play that can come out from these just very simple protocols. If you want, let me know if you have a preference about what you'd rather see. Comment and tell me. Otherwise, I'll make that decision soon, and then produce another video pretty quickly. And then we'll go from there. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Of course, you can comment on the MoonRollers channel on Ivy Studios Discord. I am looking there, as well as in the MoonRollers BGG page. There's a forum under variants. Someone was asking about solo mode, and that's where I chimed in and first started seeing if anyone wanted me to continue this project. So I am also looking and posting there. So, either of those places, feel free to let me know what you think, or also in the comments, and I'll happily answer any questions you have, or listen to any suggestions. But once again, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.